Hey, what's going on? It's your boy Trab Moody here from A Toy Kind of Mood. Today we've got the G.I. Joe Classified Series Wave 20 ranking and review. Should be a quicker video than usual. These figs have been either out, available, or have been reviewed. So we'll just do little mini reviews, little takes, little Moody takes, and then a quick ranking as we go along. That said, let's just get right into classified ranking and review. No surprise here, number 4 is Major Blood V2. He's V2 in the classified line, so gets tricky with the V stuff because you're used to, V4 Snake Eyes from the original, but now we have so many Snake Eyes, we're going to have to start calling them V's. So we got vis-a-vis, we've got Major Blood and Major Blood from Cobra Island. And right off the rip, we've got different skin tone. I believe this one's got a little bit of a tan. And he's got a lot more going on in the definition of the face. One thing they did with this Major Blood, it's totally retooling, reuse, but there are enough differences here, I guess, to justify a purchase, especially if you're quote-unquote all in on the line. If you're all in, you're going to buy it anyway, but I'm saying, hey, at least he's got more striking colors, but he also got himself a tan. Yeah, it's probably hard to tell on the video, but dude on the left definitely is darker. He's not showing any other skin any other way. But the browns, you could see he's much darker brown. It's more of a reddish brown. But he's so subtle and so, as the kids would say, washed. And then this one, you got some cool ass, I always call it Chicago Bulls. Chicago Blackhawks, but when you got the red and black bouncing, the black on the vest is definitely darker. And it looks like we have ourselves a new torso because look underneath. You got the Cobra Trooper vest there, and we got something else. It's probably really hard to see who it is, but he definitely has a new arm, that's for sure. All new arm from what I gather. Unless it's just an arm we've seen before with a forearm plate. Of course, pinless now. And I'll admit, I don't know where that logo is from. I keep thinking like Iron Grenadiers or something like that. But I don't know. You guys tell me what that logo is. I totally forgot he had that. This appears to have a new arm. Same hands. I mean, they're already good with the Cobra logo on the glove. Totally forgot that. Had that. Yeah, he's got the new gauntlet. It's got some shine in there, some cracks. Another terrific job from Tony on that. And then, yeah, the face sculpt has more definition. Or at least it seemed that way. I think it's just the tan. The tan is accentuating that. He's got some 5 o'clock shadow grays. And on here, it's just like a strong jaw. He's got darker hair this time than before. And how different is the scar? Yeah, it feels like it's a little more pronounced. Obviously, the red in the eye visor there is really cool, making the same face, darker mustache. And over here, we have an all-new robot arm. It's very similar, but it's pinless. So in order for it to be pinless, they had to do a new one. The shoulder pad looks the same. It is missing the M logo. I guess M for major. I am forgetting all of my tampos today. But yeah, I like what they did there. Adding the red inside the joint. And then the red on the glove. So the same exact hand. But yeah, same robot arm, but pinless. Has to be a new creation on the back. You've got more definition. They just put more paint apps into this. So for a re-release, I know Lenny's explanation was, hey, we got to get this character back out there. Say he's on the secondary market or whatever, and it's a good time to do it. Would have been nice to just get a retro Major Blood. And so, yeah, we got different legs because we're going pinless now. So we got ourselves Outback legs, seeing these everywhere. But then you got Major Blood's feet. Shoes, I should say, boots. So that's interesting that they went back with the boots. and just the different legs. And then this time you've got black. I love this like black that matches the armor with all these like cracks and stuff. Looks really cool. Where here was a basic silver and whatnot, but yeah, see how the pockets are different. And then here you got Outback's. Outback's whole buck has been used for everything. Crotch watching, same belt, same holster there. So in terms of ranking and rating, there's no doubt that this is an excellent figure and it's a very cool repaint. It's just that there just isn't enough to make it exciting for those who are a little pickier with their choices. If you've got this one, you don't need this one. But again, I always reiterate that there's several Snake Eyes, several Cobra Commanders, several Roadblocks, several of a lot of figures now. I mean, we even got 2 Breakers. I think it's fine to have multiple Major Bloods. We're going to get even more Destros this year, next year, whatever. It's going to happen. So unless you're all in or really need a Major Blood, I think you can pass along this. That said, let's get into the accessories. Yeah, they're matching. Pretty much the same exact thing. We've got these new dog tags, and I don't know if they're like transparent or whatever. I don't know if I like these as much as these. These are, the Cobra Island ones are more, descriptive, and they feel real. This, I don't know. It's kind of ghastly. It does pop around his neck. I'll give him that. I think everything here is the same, maybe just nicer blacks. Everything here is the same. And then why am I missing an arrow? Because this is just a terrible backpack. I hate it. Like these little rocket things, they just never sit in. You move the figure around, this shit's gonna pop out. Great idea. Just see, there you go. Just terrible execution. We've got this Mars rocket pistol thing. We'll show that in a sec. And then just a Fortnite blaster. We've seen kind of a revolver blaster thing, and they added red to the handle. As far as the helmet, this time looks like we got something shinier. It's got better weathering. This almost is like a very dull, almost like a grayish green in a way. This has all kind of nice silver, grayish paint. Yeah, looking at the 2 figures, this one definitely pops more. It's a better figure, but seeing how far we've come in the line, there isn't enough advancements to just give us this one. This is one of the best classified figures ever, right? It's just great classified version of Major Blood. I think this definitely pops on the shelf more. The weapons are outdated. I've added a stubby shotgun there, an automatic shotty, and then a submachine gun with a folded stock to give Major Blood something from Gridiron Studios. Well, at the end of the day, I'm glad people are getting Major Blood without having to pay atrocious prices on the second market. It is an upgrade. At least it's not the same exact figure. Some of the tricks that Star Wars has done with Black Series, so that's appreciated. I don't know. I'm just going to go 3.5 out of 5. If you don't have Major Blood, he's probably a 4.5, 4.25 at least. But if you already got him, it's just not an exciting release. This was not an easy choice. It's almost a tie. 3 and 2 are almost a tie. But I went with what I call Battle Armor Cobra Commander. They call it Cobra Commander with Combat Armor. However you say it, he needs a Fred head. Thankfully, Game recognizes Game, and senior developer of GIJoe over at Hasbro, Lenny Panzica, sent me over this exclusive Fred head for the Cobra Commander with Combat Armor, because a toy kind of mood is the greatest, y'all. That said, this custom sculpt comes courtesy of I Bet My Man Thing on Etsy and eBay. IBMMT of the Foosh. Just an awesome head. Now, I think this sculpt is more for the Fred that's a Crimson Guard, so it may not be accurate, but when I did some side-by-side pictures, I thought it was decent for it. But that said, I'm sure collectors out there have a plethora of Steve Rogers heads and retro caps and U.S. agents they can use. Lenny, Tony, and company gave us some pretty damn good Battle Armor Cobra Commander face sculpts, and this was a cool surprise. They didn't give us Fred, but they kept within the story and made Once a Man Cobra Commander the battle armor version. He's got some pretty wide eyes and more snake-like and not so buggy-eyed over here in the battle armor Cobra Commander. Not even Robert Kirkman himself could save this strange tale or justify it, but just having some fun with the two sculpts, Once a Man and combat armor. Yeah, this doesn't make any sense at all, but I mean, it is still Once a Man, and he's got the body to match the eyes. And then on this hand, this is, yeah, this is Deke at its lowest point. If classified was in Deke, this is what you would get. Because why not? And they are toys after all. Here is the regular battle armor Cobra Commander face. And if we were to do a comparison for funsies, I'd say it's pretty close. Now, as far as the quality of the figure itself, all fun aside, it's all new. It's battle armor Cobra Commander, so just about everything here is new. And we've got finger pointing hands. I showed you the punchies, the gripping hands. And the silver has a shine on it because I got a light on it, but otherwise it's kind of dull-ish. You know, and there's low light there, so it's not low light from GIJoe, but lower light. Yeah, I mean, it's a little duller than I wanted. I mean, I didn't expect vac metal or anything, but a little more shine. In hand, though, it doesn't look cheap. It definitely, especially right now with the darker lights, I got light beaming. It looks better than it does on camera. This actually looks really dull. In hand, I'm looking at it, and I'm like, oh, it shines pretty nice. And you got all these different vents to let you know what it looks like. And then you get this backpack. It's very Marvel Legends-like. You know, you get those kind of cheaper grayish backpacks. That said, there is some nice venting there, a little bit of cracks and creases. I mean, it does kind of shine a little bit. It just feels dull. It's good. I mean, it's fine. I'm not hating on it. Nothing connects to it. You know, I guess because the traditional one didn't. So you got the shoulder pauldrons there, and then yeah, I mean, all the paint's pretty good. No problems with that. No QC so far. His Mars Syndicate MSC personal defense weapon, just a wacky gun, and it holds true to the original. That fits right in there. So this guy was indeed my Cobra Commander as a kid. Now we're all set for world domination. All the iterations of Cobra Commander, and it's a lot of them. What Cobra Commanders do you want to see next in the line? There's got to be more, right? There's for sure more. Whiskey time. Ooh. Look, this was my most anticipated figure of the year, other than maybe Hit and Run, because it was my Coco as a kid. And I think they did a really good job, but it didn't blow me away. And we didn't even get to look at Serpentor.
Hey, Serpentor! What do you say we throw another iguana on the barbie? I hear they're just delicious.
That's how quickly I'm trying to go through this. But yeah, it's cool, non-articulating, except for the arms spin around there. Cool looking guy. Do you think we're getting too many pets? I had Mark Weber, former brand manager of Joe between 2014 and 2017, say, hey, you know, I think the pets aren't as special anymore because everyone's got one. I'm never going to say no to a pet. You want to include a pet? Include pets in all of them. I don't care. I get what he's saying, though, because then when you finally get Law and Order, it's not a big deal because everyone's got, I mean, Road Pig's got Raucous and so forth, right? So, I don't know. Let me know. More pets? You cool with Serpentor here? I'll go 4 out of 5, though. I think it's really good, strong. It'll be likely be on my top 10 of the year. You know, or at least top 12. He could even rank as high as 2. Now that I'm doing the review, I'm like, oh, maybe I like him better at 2. That said, he'll be number 3 for now. Next up on the menu is Snake Eyes, version 4 as a kid and version 65 as an adult. But yeah, much nicer figure in hand. I was not that thrilled for this because V3 Snake Eyes was my guy, not V4. I didn't have this as a kid. I don't know, maybe blue Snake Eyes to me, even though we just got the blue one with the polar bear from the cartoon. Just wasn't for me. I think I was a fan of just the coal black ninja, but you know, the daggers across, the kunai across the chest and everything like that. A lot of this is new, some reuse, and we finally got that iconic mask, which, speaking of IBMMT, we got that same mask as a custom, this time all in black. So he has this one if you prefer to have the all in black version. I believe I don't know if he has it still on eBay, but it was there. So a little close. This is better because it's more angular. This is more like a helmet, hockey helmet kind of thing. This is form-fitting, definitely more Sub-Zero, Mortal Kombat like in the blue shades, help it pop off. But I thought it was cool to have this version of him. And with all the Snake Eyes we had, I was like, I got to break this up and do something with these guys and give them something else. So shout out to Gridiron for this loadout and IBMMT for the mask, just to, you know, get creative with all the plethora of Snake Eyes we have. Then another comparison would be V1 versus V4. As far as the torso, looks like we have Tomac Xamot torso. Shout out to my guy Darren Marshall over at Airborne Customs, because him and I had some deep discussions on this. We had quick kick out. We were both trying to figure this out, and eventually I think we came to the conclusion, if you could see with the V neckline, that we've got Tomax and Xamot. The arms are close, but this is totally all Darren right here. It's Storm Shadow. So well done there, because you got two sets of gauntlets and you're hiding those arms pretty much for the most part there. And then just like all the ninja characters, you know, different boots, but same exact those shoes, like the ninja shoes we've seen on Kamakura and I think Slice and Dice and so forth. Speaking of wrist gauntlets, Snake Eyes V4 here says Kaze Kame, so he's the Divine Wind. And that's just a nice touch there, make him more classified. The bad part of this figure, and you've probably already heard it by now since this is a drop from Walmart a few weeks ago or whatever, is this holster. This is, I mean, this feels like the Incredible Hulk Maximum's chest, which is fun for some, but look at this. I don't even have to show you. There's no way in hell you can put the gun there. I don't know what I just don't get it, what this is. You know, like, oh, there you go. No way in hell. Well, it's always a cold day in hell when you're reviewing and everything works perfectly, but you move this guy around. Okay, is this really going to work? Anyway, trust me, that one. We got the grappling hook. You've seen it before, Alpine. I think maybe we've gotten it with Storm Shadow or Spear. I don't know. We've seen this thing a few times, including Snake Eyes himself. I like this place for the grappling hook. And watch this thing just go flying now. But I know it doesn't look secure, but it's gripped in there. Just wild that his Heckler and Koch MP5, you know, it's pretty cool because I like the red in there, and then you get the suppressor added. So solid gun, fun one. Doesn't have that action rocket gun that we had, removable stick mag. And yeah, I'm good without the shooting guns. We don't need that in classified. And you got your little kunai there. They don't come out. They're molded on, which is fine. Not going to use them anyway. And then there goes the grappling hook. This thing has been perfect here. Now I'm doing a review, and the SMG wants to stay there, and not this. Just unbelievable. All right, some other functionality problems I have is this just crappy backpack thing. The hole is just way too big for this. I mean, it's in there, but if you mess around with it a little bit, it's gonna pop out. All right, and you take out I love what they did with the katana though. So you got two different sides. You got one where it's a straight katana, where it's like a curved blade. But I love like the bloody red edges, super rad. But best of all, this version of Snake Eyes is just super fun to pose. Yes, it's similar articulation we've had already. But you got a lot of new parts. I think all the shin blade here, I don't know if we've seen this on Slice or Dice. I think I looked at them earlier, so it seems that we got, this is new detail, the vest is new. The mixing of parts is great. It just pops in hand with the red, blue, black, silver. Super fun character. Definitely a sleeper hit, I think, in my opinion. I'm going to go 4.25 whiskeys. Not a whole lot to say about it, but surely is fun and definitely one of the better Snake Eyes versions we've got out there. And holy crap, we did it. I think this is all of the Snake Eyes. Besides the movie one. Yeah, there's no saving Henry Golding from the classified line. Surprise, surprise. Number 1, Dreadnok Monkeywrench. Yes, cue up the Foo Fighters. This is the guy we've wanted for a very long time. We even got Cold Slither before this guy. Unbelievable, but we got him. Shout out to Walmart, the place I've never shouted out on until I kind of moved in, like, what, the 5 years we've been doing this, 4 years we've been doing this. Yo, they came through with this whole wave. Monkeywrench, there was a little bit of a delay. Multiple looks. Anytime a figure has multiple looks and there's a big playthrough, it's probably going to wind up number 1 on a lot of lists. Look at the detail there. Even has a piercing on his eyebrow. A little scarred up. Hair's a nice brown. It's got a cool grimace. Trying to see if we got anything special on that piercing, because it was, you know, something special in Ripper's eye and all that. But look at that deco. Look at the scars. It's got one between the eyebrows, underneath the left eye. Just super dope. One of the best scans in the biz. Looking at the handkerchief, the Hangman Page. It's got a nice wash on it. Again, this is where all the money went. I feel like every ranking, I'm like, okay, number 5, number 4. Okay, number 1, this is where the money went. These grenades are not detachable, but that can make for a mess. They always fall off. Like the smoke grenades that are on Beachhead and Commando Snake Eyes always come off. You got a belt buckle, so he ripped this off from a car. I remember them talking about that in like a fan stream. You see the nice zipper on the jacket. Whose torso is that? It's Big Boa's. Sans nipples. What we got? Yep, no, the nips are there, but those nips are really bright on this. They did that on purpose, I know. Yeah, cool enough. So we got that. And those arms were pins. So that is not his arms. But it's my guy, Heavy Duty, and I am not taking him out of this kitchen sink contraption, but you got the same arms there as Heavy Duty's. Getting right into it, you got the skull and tools. So you got the wrenches themselves. And I wonder if that's a monkey skull. You know, that'd be interesting if that was that. I mean, it looks different than, I think that is a monkey skull. But you guys can correct that in the comments if not. And here we got the dagger tattoo, and you got Dolores there on the tattoo. We could take a look at all the Dreadnoks and see if we got any likeness on any of these legs, but I think this is all new stuff that we got. Yeah, it's just straight ahead, all new. More belt buckles, so they didn't mess around, and then just ties on the legs, nice ripped jeans. I wonder if these are like Sergeant Slaughter's legs or something, but not entirely sure. Now the only thing is this grenade holster is really loose, and there's no backpack included to hold it down. So it'll be interesting to see if there is a better way to do this, but it feels loose no matter what. And then the last lower half, yeah, it looks like we got the similar crotch, maybe not a little smaller, but yeah, all the belts are different. So it's its own individual piece. And yeah, you got the skull there with the wrenches, so that's all new. You got all these chains coming by. Got some spikes on the long gloves. And I almost forgot his necklace because of the handkerchief there. You got like the Colt horseshoe or something like that. I don't know what the hell that is. So, could be a tool. And I'm happy to report that the glasses are phenomenal. after I just had problems with the glasses with the General Brown. A little bit of problems, maybe not that much, but they kind of stick over the ear. Here you got the ultimate cheat. They sneak in under the earpiece. You might as well do earpieces for everyone who has glasses. Now you can't do that for a guy who's short on the sides like these two. Man, that paint rub is a little messed up. But yeah, that said, they fit snugly over, even without the hairpiece. They look pretty good. They don't ride too bad there. So very happy to report that. It's almost like a translucent gray. Is that a little bit of, looks like we have a little bit of minor rub on there. A little black, but since they're on the sunglasses, yeah, it looked like a little bit of paint rubbed over. And the rims paint isn't perfect at all. But that said, it's really good. The functionality is the important thing. Got the bandit handkerchief underneath, just sick. Probably not a look I'm going to use very often, but the shades and the handkerchief do work pretty well together. Now there's a little bit of space. See how I'm pushing that down? And it kind of rides up, but if you get that, push that down. You still have a little bit of space between, and it definitely looks like a toupee. See a little bit of space between the hair and the forehead, but it's no crazy deal breaker. You're not going to really notice too much. I just wish it was a little more flush. Maybe if I can mess around with it a little more, but it's really no big deal. Just to save a few seconds here, we placed the face underneath this crazy helmet. It's kind of Star-Lord-ish from Guardians of the Galaxy, a little bit of Cabal from Mortal Kombat, but I like it a lot. I think, a lot of people are like, well, I'm not going to do that. Well, this is a classified Monkeywrench. This didn't come on a retro card. I'm wondering if we'll ever get like a whole 3-pack or a 4-pack of just the retro stripped down versions. I don't know. They seem pretty close to home, but then you add the tats and crazy stuff to make it classified. But that's the thing. You got multiple looks. You can have the OG Monkeywrench with the sunglasses. You can make him a bandit. This thing is awesome. I love this mask. I might actually use it a lot more than most people. I'm a big fan of these kind of crazy. There's like Borderlands type mask. Just wild. Also forgot to add that this holster also has a monkey face on it. They put so much money into this figure. You got all the little belts and there's so much detail there. Old school Western. And then speaking of that, we got ourselves a Colt single action revolver. Army reg there. Toss that in. Boom. Here we go. And then so far this has stayed up. Hasn't ridden down. When I first got it, it was down to the knee. But it stayed up on the thigh pretty well. Also comes with a pair of fists. And then we got a pair of these Monkeywrench handled combat axes. Totally crazy. You get the Monkeywrench with Monkeywrench, and then they threw on the axe blade there. It doesn't come off or anything. You can't just have a Monkeywrench itself. And then you place them there. At first I was like, how the hell are you going to get that in? But they're hooked pretty well and tight. You get one there. Then you can get the other one right next to it. So I don't know if we needed 2 of these, but hey, I'll take it. $24.99. I just don't know. It gets awkward. I don't know if you want to put one high like this. How does it look like that? Yeah, now it looks like it's riding too high maybe. Maybe I'll go lower like this. That seems to be the sweet spot. I like that. That's not too bad. Because you put them both here. I mean, he would reach over his head and grab a handle. He wouldn't reach for the blade. There we go. That might be it. Because then it just looks like wrenches on the back. I think we found it. Then you have this wild contraption. It's a harpoon gun with double barrel action underneath. A lot of fun. Love the paint there. Tied up with like hockey tape. It's got some fairly good detail. Kind of gears. Again, Borderlands, Bioshock. Just one of those wacky weapons. I love the inspirations. We always talk about Call of Duty, but you could go even further and get into the wackier stuff. And then this actually comes out too. I would have never known that if I didn't just pull it out. So this doesn't look that great on its own, I'll be honest. Overall, this is a fun one. It's a little gummy on the butt of the gun, but nothing crazy. Overall, fine. The Dreadnoks are bananas, guys, and it shows that Lenny, this is his favorite group. Crazy, every Dreadnok just gets better and better and better. I thought maybe up to this point, Ripper and Torch held the way. I'm just going to count the 4 core here. Dreadnoks, not Xandar, Zorana, Zartan, the siblings, or Road Pig, or anything like that. We'll eventually get a group pick. I'm pretty wiped out reviewing the 4 figures in addition to the other videos and all the great content that's been hitting a toy kind of mood as of late. Whiskey time! How many, forget whiskeys. How many grape sodas is this mammoth of a man, Monkeywrench, gonna down? 4.75 out of 5. But he might be the classified figure of the year so far. I know we had Crystal Ball and Heavy Duty also in that 4.75 range. And I believe we had Xandar pretty close. I think he skipped Xandar and shoots up to 3. We also had Baroness from the Rattler up there, I believe, almost a 4.75. So you're looking at those 5 right now dominating. We still have 4 more months before the end of the year, and who knows what else is going to hit from classified from now until then. But as of now, Monkeywrench is making a presence in the top 5 classified figures of 2025. That's going to do it, guys. Thanks so much for watching. Please like and subscribe if you're new to the channel. We go live nearly every Wednesday at 7 p.m. Pacific time, 10 p.m. Eastern. Till then, for Toy Kind of Mood, I'm Trav Moody. I'll catch you in the toy aisle. Peace.